Anyone who starts learning English quickly realizes that if they want to improve, they're going to have to put in a lot of effort. But even the most motivated learner might find that they aren't improving as quickly as they'd like if they aren't putting that effort in to the right places. What's up, guys? I'm Edward from English Made Easy, and here are 10 of the best ways that you can improve your English. Number 1, know your level. This may seem like an obvious thing, but in fact, many English learners are unaware of their true level. So what, you might be asking yourself? Well, if you are unaware of your true level, or refusing to admit it to yourself, you may end up studying topics which are not appropriate for you. I've met beginners who are trying to understand past perfect continuous tense, when in fact they should be focusing on things like present simple tense. Being aware of your own level will give you a much better idea of what you should focus on and what you should study. Number 2, use as many resources as possible. Never in history has it been so easy to get your hands on so many different types of English resources. And I'm not just talking about textbooks or worksheets. English is the lingua franca, or universal language, and because of this, you can find it in basically any country around the world. Even if English is not used that widely in your country, so long as you have access to the internet, you'll be able to find things to watch, listen to, and read in English. Try to take advantage of all these resources and absorb as much as possible. There's a lot of English to learn. Number 3, jargon isn't everything. Jargon are special words used in a profession or topic, and they aren't used in general everyday language. While having a good understanding of the technical side of the English language certainly helps, it isn't the most important thing. The problem comes with students who care more about how a grammatical point is formed instead of when to use it correctly. Being able to define a causative verb or an independent clause will not make your English better if you are unable to apply that knowledge. Focus less on words which describe technical ideas and instead focus more on how to use your knowledge in everyday English. Number 4, learn what you need. Depending on your goals and what you want to achieve, the language required will be different. If you are dating a native English speaker, for example, you're going to want to focus on English conversation. If you need English to write emails to overseas clients, then business English should be your focus. The English language is huge, so having knowledge about the particular area you want to focus on will help you greatly in narrowing down your target. Number 5, find your motivation. Ask yourself a simple question. Why am I learning English? Can you answer this question clearly and specifically? Learning something we aren't interested in, aren't passionate about, or don't believe will benefit us will lead to little to no progress made. Find your reason and motivation to learn English and keep it in your mind every time you go to study. Having this motivation in your mind will keep you focused and driven, and you'll be able to achieve a lot more in the same period of time. Number 6, contextualize the language. A common error English learners make when learning English grammar is focusing too much on the structure and not enough on when we should use it. When learning something new or revising something you've learned before, always try to find a way to connect it to your real life. Think about a situation in which this language would be useful, or a time in the past when this language would have really helped you explain what you wanted to say. Connecting what you are learning to something real in your life will make it easier to learn and easier to retain, so you're able to use it when the time comes. Number 7, little by little, a little becomes a lot. Have you ever looked at the English language and thought, how am I ever going to learn all of that? There's so much, it's going to take me years. And well, yes, it is going to take you years. But now ask yourself how long it took you to truly understand your own native language. You may very well still be learning new words every day. Languages take a long time to learn fluently, but getting to a decent level where you're able to communicate doesn't take so long. Rather than focusing on the big picture, instead try and find something small to work on every day. What you'll find is focusing on these smaller topics will build up and build up and build up, and suddenly you'll be able to speak about many different things. Even if it's just some new vocabulary or a simple piece of grammar, these will accumulate and make you a much better English speaker. Number 8. Stop translating into English and start thinking in English. This one's not so easy, but let me give you a tip to help you. When learning a new language, the first thing people try and do is translate it into their own native language. For beginner learners, this might be very important, but you should try and avoid this as much as possible. When kids learn, they do not translate. Instead, they develop the skill to think in multiple languages, and you should work on developing this skill too. One way to help is to make up stories in your head. As you go along on your daily commute to work, for example, on the train, have a look at the people around you. Make up a story about where they're going, what they did last night, what their plans are for the future. Even if you're using simple language, this will get your brain to start thinking in English, so you stop translating. Number 9, develop active skills as a priority. Languages are usually broken down into 4 skills: speaking, reading, writing, and listening. These skills can be further broken down into 2 categories: the active skills and the passive skills. The active skills, speaking and writing, require us to create the language. The passive skills, listening and reading, simply require us to understand the language. Focusing on the development of your active skills will be much more beneficial for your long-term English improvements. Learning how to create thoughts and sentences with your speaking and writing will fast-track your English progress. And number 10, practice makes perfect. It's incredible to me how few people realize that if you really want to improve your English, you have to practice a lot. Spending 1 or 2 hours a week on English simply isn't enough. Just like filling out a couple of grammar worksheets isn't enough. You need to plan time that you can dedicate to improving your English, and you need to stick to this plan. Set aside 30 minutes a day to focus on learning something new or revising something you've studied in the past. Practice makes perfect, and if you don't dedicate the time to improving your English, you will never become the English speaker that you want to be and the English speaker that you are capable of being. There you go. 10 of the best ways to help you improve your English. Do you have any tips you'd like to share with other English learners? Post them in the comments and help everyone out. I hope today's list included some useful tips for you, and you begin to integrate these tips into your daily English and you see some improvements. Good luck. Thanks for watching this lesson of English Made Easy. If you feel like this video helped you, please give it a like, share it with your friends, or even consider subscribing to see more of our videos. If you have a question that you want answered, please post it in the comments section below. Or if you'd like to join our community, follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or even support us on Patreon. You can find the links to all of these below. Thanks for watching and keep learning.